Hi everyone, it's Max here. Today I'm going to go over my 3 favorite books that helped me to kickstart my entrepreneurship journey. And without these books, maybe I wouldn't have been here at all. To those who know me, I actually don't like reading. And in fact, I actually prefer to watch videos and learn other things from watching YouTubes as opposed to reading books. But these books have really helped me to just consolidate different ideas and gather different knowledges to who I become today. And that's not to say that other books are bad. And in fact, I think there's so many different books that you should read if you want to even just be a better person and learn about entrepreneurship and just growing your business. But these are the books that I just happened to maybe got interested in it, someone recommended it, or I just came across it in somewhere along the line, and then I started reading it myself, or I listened to audiobook, and yeah, that's basically how I got started. So the first book I want to mention is Rich Dad Poor Dad, and this is actually the only physical copy that I have left in all the 3 books I'm going to mention today. So I read this book since, I don't know, like when I was in like middle school, maybe high school or something like that for the first time, and I'm actually rereading it for the second time. As you can see, it's taking me ages to reread because I'm doing so many different things. But anyways, and I just want to mention first that this is not going to be like a sort of like a book summary, because that's not going to be interesting for you. This is going to be more of my own personal, I guess, knowledge that or intake that I gained from reading these books and things that I capture from it to how I become who I am. So why I really like Rich Dad Poor Dad is because it discusses the ideas of classifying things that are considered to be an asset versus liability for you. Because a lot of people think buying certain things may be good for them, but in fact, it's just a liability that will cost you more and more in the long term. And also, it also creates a direct comparison between, in the example that Robert Kiyosaki gave, was like, the rich dad and the poor dad, where one person has like a business mindset and thinks of ways they can earn money from various sources and different ideas, and the other one goes into a more traditional route where you get good education, you get then you'll get a good job and blah blah blah, right? That's what we all been told or said. But in fact, to be honest, I can't even think of one multimillionaire on top of my head that actually gained wealth or become rich from just working in a corporate job and doing that for a living. And like basically all the examples of role models that I follow so far has been a rich entrepreneur who did something along the line, taking a lot of risks and basically working their ass off to become who they are today and make a lot of money. But that's not to say that they exploit some people in certain ways. I hope they didn't do that, but that's basically the ideas that I got from this book. The second book that I want to mention is called The Go-Giver, and I'll put like a photo up somewhere. And I read this one quite a while back, so I can't remember exactly, but the ideas are still there within my head. And that's when I was thinking about starting a business, I was actually thinking about owning a cafe or something like that in a very, very small scale. And like, to be honest, if I become really successful in being like e-commerce sellers and everything, I'll probably want to open my own cafe one day still. But I was thinking in such a small scale that like owning a property that can just serve around like maybe like 10 people or something like that at a time. And this book kind of just opened my eyes, because in order to provide more service to different people, you are going to have to think of way you can capture more audiences and sort of leave those monetary value behind, because a lot of people have a mindset that to become an entrepreneur, to become a rich business owner, you have to go get those money. Like it's like, but in fact, this book is basically saying that the money will come to you based on what you will give back to individual or customers or clients. Like, how can you provide more value for them so you'll get more, receiving more back to you as a result. And those receiving is basically the payments amount. So that got me really thinking about back. I read this book pre-pandemic, which is like ages ago, and it got me really thinking because, now that the pandemic has happened and we're seeing a lot of cafes and restaurants are actually closing down, it's not going to be an optimal business to actually putting a lot of investment up front in order to basically serve like 10 people, right? You want to serve like hundreds of thousands, even millions. That's how you really grow your business. And that seems to be the trend across all different e-commerce. It doesn't need to be e-commerce, but it can be anything that within your field of expertise. I just happen to be in this field, so that's what I can say about it. The third book that I want to mention on this list is The 4-Hour Workweek. Now, this really blows my mind as well because 4-Hour Workweek was like, even the title, it was like, what? Like, I've never heard of that. Because, being someone who used to work 9 to 5, like, that's all I know, right? Like, that's all I ever heard. Like, you just work 7-8 hours a day, you get paid, and you go home. And now the example in this, the book, this guy was saying that, he's trying to work a lot faster and like he can finish his task in 1 hour. And like the example he gave was that he couldn't leave the work because the boss was saying that because you finish these work, then therefore you're gonna get more work, which is counterintuitive because, well, if you finish your work, why can't you just leave your office or something like that? So thinking of ways you can basically free up more time for yourself, because people don't often think of this, but you can actually make more money, but you can't make more time. So time is actually therefore more valuable than money. So if someone wants to earn $100,000, but they have to put, I don't know, let's just say 40 hours a week into making 100K, versus a guy who makes 40K but puts 1 hour in every week, like that's arguably a way richer, not in monetary value or in salary, but richer in having more free time for yourself to do the things that you want. So that's the concept behind of like that really got into my head. The second thing that Tim Ferriss mentioned was that instead of just waiting for you or myself or anybody to start a business or do the things that you want to do, why don't you start it today? Because a lot of people have this, including myself, have this mindset where I gotta save a lot of money, I gotta do all this stuff in order for me to do these hobbies, do this job that I wanted to do. And that's, I like what the author was arguing was that that's a wrong mindset, because why don't you do things that you want to do starting today as opposed to waiting later until maybe it's too late for you to do them? Or I would argue that it's never too late to do the things that you want. But why not just kickstart the idea, get started today, than just sitting waiting for something to happen? Because a miracle doesn't really happen. Like that's like 1 in 100 chance maybe, or even less. And this book was really, really long, but there's a lot of things that had a really, really awesome concepts that I even can't put in words, to be honest. But yeah, these were 3 of the books. Like I said, it's not like the top list of books to become an entrepreneur or anything. It's just the books that really gave me a lot of value to basically register my business name. Even like just about a year ago during this time, I was sitting down registering my own business name, and I have no idea where I'm going to go from there. But it's just for you to have an idea and try to get started yourself, because that's the most important thing, is for you to actually put it in action as opposed to just laying on a couch and watching YouTube videos. And you really have to put actions into it, otherwise it's worth nothing, right? Anyways, I hope you enjoy these type of content, and please subscribe if you do. Thanks for watching.